In a small town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a dedicated teacher named Lon. She taught at the local primary school, where she inspired her students with her passion for learning and her deep compassion for those less fortunate. Among her many students was Hung, a bright and ambitious boy who came from a struggling family. Despite the challenges he faced, Hung's determination to succeed shone through. Every day after class, Lon would stay late, helping Hung with his studies. She noticed how hard he worked, often skipping meals to save money for his school supplies. Deeply moved by his situation, Lon made a decision that would change both their lives. She started using her own savings to cover Hung's tuition and provide him with books and materials he needed. Over the years, Hung flourished under Lan's guidance. He excelled in his studies, earning scholarships that allowed him to continue his education. With each passing year, he grew more confident, driven by the support of his beloved teacher. After finishing high school, Hung went on to a prestigious university, where he graduated with honors. His hard work paid off. He landed a job at a prominent company and quickly climbed the corporate ladder, becoming a successful director. Meanwhile, Lon continued to teach, pouring her heart into her work and her students. However, life took a difficult turn for her. After years of financial stability, she found herself struggling to make ends meet. Budget cuts at the school resulted in her salary being reduced, and she faced mounting expenses at home. As her situation worsened, she felt a heavy weight on her shoulders, but she remained hopeful, always believing that things would eventually get better. One sunny afternoon, as Lon was cleaning out her classroom, she came across an old photo of her and Hung from his graduation day. A smile crept across her face as she remembered the bright-eyed boy who had transformed into a remarkable young man. She wondered what he was doing now and if he would remember the sacrifices she had made for him. Days turned into weeks, and Lan's financial struggles continued. She began to consider taking on extra tutoring jobs, but the exhaustion from teaching full-time left her little energy. Just when she felt overwhelmed, a letter arrived that would change everything. The letter was from Hung, now a successful businessman. He expressed his gratitude for Lan's unwavering support throughout his education. He detailed how her kindness had shaped his life, giving him the strength to pursue his dreams. He also mentioned how he often thought about her, wishing he could repay her for everything she had done. Lan's heart swelled with emotion as she read the letter. But it was the next line that left her breathless. Hung was planning a visit to see her. He wanted to catch up and discuss how he could help her, just as she had helped him. The day of Hung's visit arrived, and Lon felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. As she prepared her home, memories of their time together flooded her mind. When the doorbell rang, she opened it to find Hung standing there, his presence radiating warmth and confidence. He had transformed into a charismatic man, but his eyes still sparkled with the same kindness she remembered. "Lon! It's so good to see you," he exclaimed, enveloping her in a heartfelt hug. "It's wonderful to see you too, Hung." "I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished," she replied, her voice filled with emotion. They spent the afternoon reminiscing about old times, sharing stories and laughter. Hung spoke of his journey, the challenges he faced, and how he always kept Lon in his heart. "You believed in me when no one else did," he said earnestly. "I want you to know how much that meant to me." Lon felt tears welling in her eyes as she listened to him. "You did all the hard work, Hung." "I just helped a little," she replied, but he shook his head firmly. "No, you changed my life. And now, I want to help you." He then revealed his plan. He wanted to provide financial support to help Lon open an educational center in their town, a place where children could receive tutoring and mentorship. He had seen firsthand how education could transform lives, and he wanted to give back to the community that had given him so much. Lon was taken aback. "Hung, I can't accept that. You've already done so much for me," she protested. "Please, Lon. Let me do this. You deserve it. And think of all the children who could benefit from this center. Together, we can make a difference," he insisted. After much discussion, Lon agreed, realizing that this was more than just financial support. It was a chance to continue her passion for teaching and to impact future generations. Hung used his resources and connections to help her find a suitable location and gather the necessary materials. As the months passed, the educational center began to take shape. Hung was actively involved, helping Lon design programs and recruit volunteers. Together, they organized workshops and tutoring sessions, making learning accessible to children from all backgrounds. The center quickly became a hub of activity, filled with laughter and the joy of learning. Lon found renewed purpose in her work. Every day, she walked into the center with a heart full of hope, knowing she was helping shape young minds, just as she had done with Hung. One evening, as they were closing up for the day, Hung turned to Lon, a serious expression on his face. "I want you to know that this center is not just a project for me. It's a legacy we are building together. I hope it inspires others to give back, just like you did for me." Lon smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "It already has, Hung. Your journey is an inspiration, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this with you." As the center flourished, Lon and Hung organized community events to raise awareness about education and the importance of supporting local youth. They invited families to share their stories and encouraged them to participate in the center's programs. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and soon, more volunteers joined their cause. One day, a local newspaper featured an article about the educational center, highlighting its impact on the community. The story caught the attention of several businesses, who reached out to offer sponsorships and support. Lon and Hung were thrilled, their vision was expanding, and they could reach even more children in need. As the years passed, the center became a beloved institution in the town. Hung's successful career continued to flourish, and he often returned to visit, sharing insights and encouraging the students. Lon watched with pride as he interacted with the children, always reminding them that they could achieve anything they set their minds to. One day, during a special celebration at the center, Hung stood up to speak. "This place is a testament to the power of education and kindness. I owe my success to my dear teacher, Lon, who believed in me when I needed it the most. Let us all strive to pay it forward, just as she did for me." The applause was thunderous, but Lon felt a wave of humility wash over her. She realized that Hung's success was not just a personal triumph, it was a reflection of the community they had built together. As the evening wound down, Lon took a moment to reflect on the incredible journey they had embarked on. The unexpected payback from Hung was not just financial support, it was the culmination of years of dedication, love, and shared dreams. In the years that followed, the center continued to grow, offering scholarships and mentorship programs that changed countless lives. Hung and Lon remained close friends, united by their shared mission to empower future generations. One day, as they sat in the center's garden, surrounded by vibrant flowers and the laughter of children, Lon turned to Hung. "I never imagined that my small acts of kindness would lead to something so profound. Thank you for believing in me and for giving me the opportunity to make a difference." Hung smiled, his eyes reflecting the same gratitude. "You've shown me that education is a powerful tool for change. Together, we've created something beautiful, and it all started with your kindness." As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the garden, Lon felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had not only impacted Hung's life but had helped create a ripple effect of kindness and generosity throughout the community. With hearts full of hope and dreams, Lon and Hung continued their journey, knowing that the legacy of their friendship and shared mission would endure for generations to come. The unexpected payback had transformed their lives, and they were determined to keep giving back, ensuring that kindness and education would always shine brightly in their town. As the seasons changed, so did the opportunities for the educational center. Lon and Hung continued to innovate and expand their programs, responding to the needs of the community. They introduced workshops on technology, art, and life skills, catering to students of all ages. The center became a vibrant hub of learning and creativity, attracting families from all around. One day, as Lon was organizing a new curriculum, she received a visit from a local government official. "I've heard wonderful things about your center," he said, his eyes twinkling with interest. "We'd like to partner with you to enhance educational resources in the region." Lon was thrilled. This partnership could provide funding for new programs, materials, and even scholarships for students who excelled. She called Hung immediately to share the news, and they brainstormed ways to maximize the potential of this collaboration. With the official support, they launched a series of community events, inviting parents, teachers, and students to participate in discussions about education. Lon encouraged open dialogue, allowing everyone to voice their opinions and suggestions. The community's involvement was overwhelming, and soon they had a robust plan for the future. One of the standout ideas was a mentorship program, pairing high-achieving students with younger ones. The goal was to create a supportive environment where knowledge could be shared, and friendships could blossom. Hung volunteered to lead the initiative, drawing from his own experiences as a student. As the mentorship program took off, Lon watched with pride as students formed bonds that transcended age. Hung frequently organized group activities, fostering collaboration and teamwork. The center became a place where students felt safe to express themselves and explore new ideas. One evening, during a mentorship meeting, a young girl named Mai stood up, her hands trembling slightly. "I just wanted to say thank you," she began, her voice barely above a whisper. "Before coming here, I didn't think I was good at anything. But now, with the help of my mentor, I'm starting to believe in myself." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed her words. Hung exchanged a glance with Lon, both feeling a rush of emotion. This was the impact they had envisioned, a place where children felt empowered and encouraged. As the months passed, the center became a beacon of hope, attracting attention from local media and educational organizations. They hosted open houses, inviting families to see the programs in action. Each event was met with enthusiasm, and soon they were receiving requests for partnerships from other organizations wanting to replicate their success. One day, during a particularly busy week, Lon received a call from a philanthropic foundation. "We've been following your work and would like to offer you a grant to expand your programs," the voice on the other end said. Lan's heart raced. This funding could allow them to hire more staff, create additional courses, and reach even more students. She and Hung met to discuss the implications of this new opportunity. "We can truly make a difference on a larger scale," Hung said, excitement evident in his tone. They began drafting proposals, outlining their vision for the future. However, amidst the excitement, Lon felt a familiar sense of responsibility weighing on her. "We must ensure that we maintain our community's values," she reminded Hung. "It's essential that we keep the focus on the students and their needs, rather than just expanding for the sake of growth." Hung nodded, understanding the importance of their mission. They decided to hold a community meeting to discuss the grant and gather input. It was crucial that everyone felt involved and that their voices were heard. The meeting was a resounding success. Parents, students, and volunteers shared their thoughts and aspirations for the center. Ideas flowed freely, from after-school programs to special events highlighting local culture. Lon and Hung took notes, grateful for the insight and enthusiasm from the community. With the grant secured and community support backing them, the center underwent a transformation. They expanded the building, added new classrooms, and even created a space for outdoor learning. The center became a hub of activity, bustling with students eager to learn and grow. As the years rolled on, Lon found herself reflecting on her journey. She had come a long way from the days of struggling to make ends meet. The support from Hung, the community, and the new partnerships had rejuvenated her spirit and deepened her commitment to education. One day, as she was walking through the center, she spotted Hung engaged in animated conversation with a group of students. His laughter echoed through the halls, reminding her of the bright-eyed boy who once struggled to find his place. Approaching them, Lon joined the conversation. "What's the topic today?" she asked, her curiosity piqued. "We're discussing our dreams for the future," Hung replied enthusiastically. "These kids are full of incredible ideas, and I'm just here to help them realize that they can achieve anything." Lon beamed with pride, knowing that Hung's journey had come full circle. He was not only a successful businessman but also a mentor who was making a real difference in the lives of young people, just as she had done for him. As the years passed, Lon and Hung continued to strengthen their partnership, adapting to the ever-changing needs of their community. The center became known for its innovative programs, and they received invitations to speak at conferences, sharing their model of community engagement and support. One evening, during a particularly inspiring workshop, Lon found herself reflecting on the incredible impact of their work. She looked around the room, filled with eager faces, and felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Hung caught her eye and smiled. "Can you believe it all started with your kindness?" he asked, his voice warm and sincere. "It's a beautiful reminder of how one act of compassion can create a ripple effect," Lon replied, her heart full. Their conversation was interrupted by a knock on the door. A group of students entered, their excitement palpable. They had organized a surprise event to celebrate Lan's birthday, and the room was filled with balloons, decorations, and a homemade cake. Overwhelmed by their thoughtfulness, Lon felt tears of joy stream down her cheeks. "Thank you, everyone. This means so much to me," she said, her voice thick with emotion. As they gathered around to sing, Hung watched with a smile, knowing that this was the culmination of their shared journey. The love and gratitude in the room were a testament to the lives they had touched and the community they had built. Years later, as Lon prepared to retire, she looked back at the legacy she had created. The center was thriving, and she was proud of the countless students who had passed through its doors, many of whom had gone on to achieve great things. Hung stood beside her, ready to take the helm. "You've built something incredible, Lon. I promise to carry on your vision and continue making a difference," he said, sincerity evident in his voice. "I know you will, Hung. You've always had a gift for inspiring others," she replied, feeling at peace with her decision. On her last day, the community came together to celebrate her impact. Students shared stories of how Lon had changed their lives, and parents expressed their heartfelt gratitude. As she looked out at the faces of those she had touched, Lon realized that her journey had come full circle. She had given Hung the tools to succeed, and he, in turn, was passing that kindness on to others. In her heart, Lon knew that the spirit of giving would continue to thrive at the center, ensuring that future generations would be inspired to learn, grow, and give back. As the sun set on her teaching career, Lon felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had not only changed the lives of her students but had also created a legacy of kindness that would endure for years to come. The unexpected payback had blossomed into something beautiful, reminding everyone that compassion and education are powerful forces for change. And so, the story continued, with the seeds of kindness planted in the hearts of many, ensuring that the spirit of giving would never fade. As Lon settled into her retirement, she found herself reflecting on the past more often. The center thrived under Hung's leadership, and he had successfully implemented many of the ideas they had dreamed about together. Yet, she still felt a pull to remain connected to the community she had nurtured for so long. Determined to stay involved, Lon proposed a series of alumni events. She wanted former students to return and share their experiences, encouraging current students to see the potential of their education. Hung enthusiastically supported the idea, seeing it as a way to inspire the next generation. The first alumni event was a resounding success. Students of all ages returned, some bringing their families along. They shared stories of their journeys, discussing how the skills they learned at the center had shaped their careers. Lon listened with pride as they spoke, her heart swelling at the sight of young professionals giving back to the community that had once supported them. During the event, Hung took the stage to speak. "This center has always been a place of transformation, not just for students, but for all of us," he said, his voice resonating in the room. "It's important that we remember where we came from and continue to uplift one another." After the speeches, Lon took a moment to address the crowd. "I am so grateful to see all of you here today. Your success is a testament to the power of education and community support. Always remember to pay it forward, just as so many of you have done," she said, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy. As the years went by, the alumni events became a cherished tradition. Each gathering brought new stories, laughter, and a sense of belonging. Lon loved hearing about the diverse paths her former students had taken. Some were teachers, others doctors, and some even started their own businesses. Each story was a reminder of the lasting impact of education and kindness. One evening, during an alumni meeting, a young woman named Mai approached Lon, her eyes shining with excitement. "Ms. Lon, I want to start a scholarship program in your name for students who face financial difficulties," she said, her voice trembling with enthusiasm. Lon was taken aback. "Oh, Mai, that's incredibly generous of you. But I'm just one person in a long line of teachers who have cared for students." Mai shook her head. "No, Ms. Lon. You were the first teacher who believed in me, and that made all the difference. I want to give back in the same way you did." Moved by Mai's heartfelt gesture, Lon agreed to help her establish the scholarship program. They worked together to create a framework, ensuring that it would reach those in need. The scholarship quickly gained traction, with former students contributing to the fund. As the program grew, Lon watched with pride as more students received support for their education. It became a cycle of giving, where each generation inspired the next. Hung often joined her at the scholarship ceremonies, celebrating the achievements of the recipients alongside Lon. One day, while reviewing applications for the scholarship, Lon stumbled upon a familiar name, Lynn, the daughter of one of her former students. Lynn's application was impressive, showcasing her dedication to her studies and her involvement in community service. Lon couldn't help but feel a wave of nostalgia as she thought about the many students she had taught over the years. When the day came to announce the scholarship recipients, Lon felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. As she took the stage, she looked out at the audience filled with eager faces, much like the ones she had taught long ago. "Today, we celebrate not just the achievements of these young individuals, but the spirit of community that has brought us all together," she began, her voice steady. "Education is a journey, and each of you has the power to impact others along the way." When she announced Lynn as one of the scholarship recipients, the audience erupted in applause. Lynn beamed with pride as she accepted her award, and Lon felt a warmth in her heart knowing that the cycle of support was continuing. As the years continued to unfold, Lon found joy in mentoring Lynn, just as she had done for Hung years before. Lynn often visited the center, volunteering her time and sharing her own experiences with the students. Lon recognized the same spark of determination in Lynn that she had seen in Hung Point one afternoon. As they sat together in the garden, Lynn turned to Lon. "Ms. Lon, I hope one day I can make as big of a difference as you have. You've taught me that education is about more than just books, it's about making connections and supporting each other." Lon smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment. "You already are, Lynn. Remember, it's the small acts of kindness that can lead to great changes. Keep nurturing that spirit, and you'll inspire many more." As Lon watched Lynn blossom into a confident young leader, she felt reassured that the legacy of kindness and education would continue. The scholarship program flourished, and more students were given the opportunity to pursue their dreams, just as Hung had once done. One day, while cleaning out her old classroom, Lon found a box filled with letters from students over the years. Each note told a story of gratitude and growth. With a sense of nostalgia, she read through them, remembering the faces of each student who had passed through her doors. Inspired, Lon decided to organize a special event called Letters of Gratitude. She invited current and former students to write letters to their teachers, expressing their appreciation for the impact they had made in their lives. The response was overwhelming, and the event turned into a heartfelt celebration. During the event, Lon shared her own story of gratitude, recounting how Hung had come back to support her. She emphasized the importance of recognizing those who have helped shape our journeys. Hung stood beside her, echoing her sentiments, and together they encouraged students to continue fostering a culture of appreciation. As the years went by, the educational center evolved into a cornerstone of the community. They offered various programs, including career counseling and mental health workshops. Lon and Hung were committed to addressing the holistic needs of their students, ensuring that everyone felt supported. One day, as Lon was preparing for a community meeting, she received a call from the mayor's office. "We would like to recognize the center for its outstanding contribution to education and community development," the voice on the other end said. "We're planning a ceremony next month to honor your work." Lon was stunned. She had never sought recognition for her efforts, she only wanted to make a difference. Nonetheless, she accepted the invitation, realizing it was an opportunity to highlight the collective efforts of the community. On the day of the ceremony, the hall was filled with people who had been impacted by the center. Lon stood alongside Hung, feeling a mix of excitement and humility as the mayor spoke about their contributions. This center has changed lives, not just for the students, but for the entire community, the mayor proclaimed. It serves as a beacon of hope and support, a testament to the power of kindness and education. As Lon accepted the award, she felt the presence of all those who had supported her along the way. This recognition is not just for me, it's for every teacher, student, and community member who has believed in the importance of education, she said, her voice strong and filled with emotion. After the ceremony, Lon and Hung were approached by several local organizations interested in partnering with the center. They discussed potential collaborations, from mentorship programs to community service initiatives, further expanding their reach. The center continued to thrive, and the ripple effect of kindness grew wider. Lon felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey she had taken. She had not only impacted individual lives but had helped build a community grounded in support and love. One day, as Lon was preparing for another alumni event, she received a call from Hung. "I have some exciting news," he said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "We've been invited to speak at a national education conference to share our model." Lan's heart raced with excitement. "This is incredible. We can inspire others to replicate what we've built here." As they prepared for the conference, Lon reflected on how far they had come. Their story was not just about one teacher and one student, it was about the power of community, the impact of kindness, and the lasting legacy they were creating together. At the conference, they stood before an audience filled with educators and community leaders, eager to learn from their experiences. Lon felt a rush of pride as she shared their journey, emphasizing the importance of empathy and support in education. As they spoke, Lon looked out into the crowd, seeing faces filled with hope and determination. She knew that their story would inspire others to take action, to support their own communities, and to make a difference in the lives of those around them. After their presentation, several attendees approached them, eager to discuss how they could implement similar programs in their own towns. Lon and Hung felt invigorated, knowing that their message was resonating far beyond their small town. Returning home, they continued to refine their programs, integrating feedback and learning from others. The center became a model of innovation, attracting visitors from across the country who wanted to learn from their successes. Years later, as Lon looked back on her life, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The unexpected payback she had received from Hung had blossomed into a legacy that transcended generations. She had created a community that valued education, kindness, and the power of giving back. On a particularly sunny afternoon, as Lon sat in the garden of the center, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. Surrounded by laughter and learning, she knew that her journey was far from over. With every student who walked through the doors, a new story began, and she was grateful to be a part of it. In that moment, she realized that the cycle of kindness would continue, carried forward by the countless lives she had touched. Education, after all, was not just about imparting knowledge, it was about nurturing hearts and inspiring souls. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the center, Lon smiled, knowing that she had played a role in something truly special. The legacy of compassion and education would endure, lighting the path for future generations to follow. As the months turned into years, Lan's connection with the community deepened further. The center was flourishing, but Lon always believed in the importance of adapting to the changing needs of the students and families they served. With each new group of students came fresh challenges and opportunities. One day, during a staff meeting, Lon introduced a bold new idea. "I think we should expand our programs to include mental health support. Many students are facing challenges that go beyond academics, and we need to provide them with the resources they need to thrive." Hung nodded in agreement. "Absolutely. Mental health is crucial for overall well-being. We could partner with local counselors or even train some of our staff to provide support." They began researching potential partnerships, reaching out to mental health professionals who could help them develop a comprehensive program. After several meetings and planning sessions, they launched a mental health initiative that included workshops, counseling sessions, and peer support groups. The response from the community was overwhelmingly positive. Students felt relieved to have a safe space to discuss their feelings and challenges. Many opened up about their struggles, and the initiative fostered a culture of openness and understanding. One of the most impactful moments came during a workshop led by a local counselor. Students were encouraged to share their stories, and one young man, Nam, stood up, visibly shaken. "I've been dealing with anxiety for a long time, and I never knew how to talk about it," he admitted. "But coming here has made me feel less alone." As the room filled with empathy and support, Lon felt a wave of pride. The initiative was not just providing resources, it was creating a community where students felt heard and valued. As the mental health programs flourished, Lon and Hung decided to host a community mental health fair, inviting families to learn about available resources and strategies for promoting well-being. They included workshops, guest speakers, and even activities for children, ensuring that everyone felt included. The fair was a tremendous success. Families from all over the area attended, and many shared their stories of struggle and resilience. Lon was touched to see how the community came together, united by a common goal, to support one another. During the fair, a mother approached Lon, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you for creating this space," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "My daughter has been struggling, and I didn't know how to help her. This has opened my eyes to so many resources I didn't even know existed." As Lon continued to witness the positive impact of the mental health initiatives, she felt her heart swell with hope. The center had become a sanctuary for so many, a place where students could find solace and support. With the success of the mental health programs, Lon and Hung decided to take things a step further. They organized a series of training sessions for teachers and staff on recognizing signs of mental health struggles and how to create inclusive classrooms. The aim was to empower educators to support their students effectively. As the training progressed, Lon noticed a shift in the atmosphere at the center. Educators were more engaged, and students felt seen and understood. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Many teachers reported feeling more confident in their abilities to address students' needs. Inspired by the momentum, Lon also began collaborating with local businesses to provide internships for students interested in exploring different career paths. They aimed to create a bridge between education and the workforce, allowing students to gain valuable experience and skills. One afternoon, as she sat with Hung discussing potential partnerships, he mentioned a local tech company that had expressed interest in supporting the center. They're looking to create a mentorship program for students interested in STEM fields. "This could be a fantastic opportunity," he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Lon immediately saw the potential. "Let's set up a meeting. This could be a game changer for our students," she replied, her enthusiasm palpable. When the meeting with the tech company went well, they quickly established a mentorship program. Local professionals volunteered their time to guide students, helping them navigate their educational and career aspirations. Lon was thrilled to see students engaging with mentors who shared their passion for technology. As the program grew, students began to flourish. Many expressed newfound interest in STEM fields, and the mentorship initiative inspired them to pursue higher education in those areas. It was gratifying for Lon to witness this transformation, knowing that they were opening doors for students who may not have otherwise considered such paths. One day, during a mentorship session, a shy student named Min shared his dream of becoming an engineer. "I've always loved building things, but I didn't think I could actually do it," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. His mentor, a young engineer named Lisa, encouraged him. "You absolutely can. With dedication and the right support, you can achieve anything. Let's work together to create a plan for you to pursue this dream," she said, her words instilling confidence in Min. As Lon observed this exchange, she felt a wave of fulfillment wash over her. The center had become a place where dreams were not only nurtured but actively pursued. She couldn't help but smile, knowing that every effort they had put into creating these programs was paying off in meaningful ways. As the years passed, the center continued to adapt to the changing needs of the community. They expanded their offerings to include life skills workshops, financial literacy courses, and even arts programs, ensuring that they catered to a wide range of interests and needs. One evening, Lan and Hung sat together reminiscing about their journey. "Can you believe how far we've come?" Hung said, shaking his head in disbelief. "It all started with a simple act of kindness." Lan nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I never imagined that helping one student could lead to all of this. It's a testament to the power of compassion and community." As they spoke, they noticed a group of students gathered in the corner, working on a project together. The camaraderie and enthusiasm in the room were palpable, and Lan felt a profound sense of pride. This was what they had envisioned all along, a community where students felt safe, supported, and inspired to dream big. One day, as Lan was preparing for a community meeting, she received an unexpected message. It was from Mai, the young woman who had started the scholarship program in her name. "Ms. Lan, I have an idea I'd love to discuss with you. Can we meet?" Curious, Lan agreed to meet with Mai. When they sat down, Mai revealed her vision. "I want to establish a leadership camp for high school students, focusing on personal development and community service. I believe it can empower young people to become leaders in their communities." Lan's heart raced with excitement. "That's a fantastic idea, Mai. We can incorporate workshops on communication, teamwork, and project management. This could be an incredible opportunity for our students." They began brainstorming and planning, drawing on their experiences to create a meaningful curriculum. They reached out to local leaders and educators for support, eager to make the camp a reality. As the camp approached, excitement filled the air. Students signed up in droves, eager to participate and learn valuable skills. On the first day of the camp, Lan stood before a room full of eager faces, feeling a mix of nostalgia and inspiration. "Welcome, everyone. This camp is about more than just learning. It's about discovering your potential and finding ways to give back to your community," she said, her voice steady and encouraging. "Each of you has the power to make a difference." Over the course of the camp, students participated in various activities, from team-building exercises to service projects. They learned about leadership, empathy, and the importance of community engagement. As the days progressed, Lan watched as students grew more confident, forming bonds with one another and discovering their strengths. On the final day of the camp, the students presented their service projects, showcasing the ideas they had developed to address issues in their community. Lan was astounded by their creativity and passion. One group focused on organizing a neighborhood cleanup, while another proposed a tutoring program for younger students struggling in school. The energy in the room was contagious, and Lan felt a sense of pride in the impact they were making. As the camp concluded, Lan and Mai reflected on the journey. "I can't believe we pulled this off," Mai exclaimed, her face aglow with happiness. "These students are going to do amazing things." Lan nodded, her heart full. "And it's just the beginning. We've planted seeds of leadership, and I can't wait to see how they grow." With the success of the camp, Lan and Mai decided to make it an annual event, allowing more students to participate and continue developing their leadership skills. The program became a cornerstone of the center's offerings, empowering students to take charge of their futures. As Lan continued her work at the center, she realized that the impact of kindness and education extended far beyond the walls of their building. The ripple effects were evident in the community, with former students returning as mentors, leaders, and advocates for change. Years later, at an alumni event, Lan was approached by a young man named Kwong, who had been inspired by the leadership camp. "Ms. Lan, I wanted to thank you. That camp changed my life. It gave me the confidence to run for student council, and now I'm pursuing a degree in political science," he said, beaming with pride. Tears welled in Lan's eyes as she hugged Kwong. "I'm so proud of you. You've taken your experience and turned it into something meaningful. You're going to make a difference." As the evening progressed, Lan looked around the room, filled with laughter and camaraderie. The sense of community was palpable, and she felt grateful to have played a part in shaping so many lives. On her way home that night, Lan reflected on the journey she had taken, one that had begun with a simple act of kindness. She had witnessed the transformative power of education, support, and compassion. Each person who had walked through the doors of the center had left an imprint on her heart. As Lon lay in bed that night, she closed her eyes, feeling a deep sense of contentment. She had dedicated her life to nurturing the next generation, and in return, she had received the most precious gift of all, the knowledge that she had made a difference. With a heart full of gratitude, Lon drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the countless possibilities that lay ahead for her students and the community they had built together. As the years rolled on, the center continued to thrive, and Lon found herself taking on more leadership roles in the community. Her reputation as an advocate for education and empowerment spread far and wide, attracting attention from local government officials and organizations interested in supporting her mission. One day, she received an invitation to speak at a regional conference on education. Excited yet nervous, Lon prepared her speech, eager to share her experiences and insights. The day of the conference arrived, and she stood before a diverse audience of educators, community leaders, and policymakers. "Thank you for this opportunity to share our story," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves. "What we've accomplished at our center is a testament to the power of community, compassion, and the belief that education can change lives." As she shared stories of students who had overcome obstacles, Lon felt the audience's engagement grow. She spoke about the importance of mental health support, the leadership camp, and the scholarship programs that had blossomed from her initial efforts to help Hung. The feedback she received was overwhelmingly positive. Attendees approached her after the session, eager to learn more about her programs and how they could implement similar initiatives in their own communities. Lon felt invigorated by the conversations, realizing that her story was resonating beyond her small town. Upon returning home, she shared her experience with Hung. "I can't believe how much interest there is in what we're doing. This could be an opportunity to expand our reach even further," she said, her excitement palpable. Hung nodded, a thoughtful expression on his face. "What if we developed a training program for other educators who want to create similar centers? We could share our curriculum, best practices, and strategies for building community support." Lan's eyes sparkled with inspiration. "That's a brilliant idea. We could host workshops and online seminars, creating a network of educators committed to making a difference." They immediately began planning, drawing on their experiences to create comprehensive training modules. They outlined sessions on curriculum development, mental health resources, community engagement, and effective leadership. The program took shape quickly, and soon they were ready to launch. The first training session attracted educators from various regions, all eager to learn and share their own insights. Lon and Hung facilitated discussions, encouraging participants to share their challenges and successes. It was a vibrant exchange of ideas, and Lon felt a renewed sense of purpose as she connected with like-minded individuals. As the training sessions progressed, Lon and Hung received feedback from participants expressing gratitude for the resources and inspiration they had provided. Many attendees left feeling empowered to take action in their own communities, and the ripple effect of their work began to expand. One afternoon, after a particularly successful training session, a woman named Tan approached Lon. "I'm inspired by what you've created. I want to start a similar center in my town, but I'm unsure where to begin. Can you help me?" Lon felt a sense of responsibility and excitement. "Of course. Let's set up some time to discuss your vision and create a plan together. I'd love to support you in any way I can." As they met over the following weeks, Lon shared her experiences, helping Tan map out the steps needed to establish her center. They discussed community outreach, curriculum development, and ways to secure funding. It was a collaborative effort, and Lon found joy in nurturing another educator's dream. Before long, Tan's center opened its doors, and Lon attended the grand opening, beaming with pride as she watched her friend embark on this new journey. "This is just the beginning," she said to Tan. "You're going to make such a positive impact in your community." As the months passed, the network of educators inspired by Lan's work continued to grow. They formed a coalition focused on sharing resources, conducting joint events, and supporting each other's initiatives. Lon was amazed by the collective power of their efforts, and she felt a sense of fulfillment knowing she had played a role in this larger movement. One day, while reviewing feedback from participants in the training program, Lon noticed a recurring theme. Many educators expressed a desire for ongoing support and resources. Inspired by this feedback, she and Hung decided to create an online platform where educators could connect, share best practices, and access resources. They launched the platform, calling it Educators United. It quickly gained traction, with teachers from various backgrounds joining the community. Lon organized webinars featuring guest speakers on topics such as trauma-informed teaching and culturally responsive education. The platform became a vibrant hub for collaboration and growth. As Lon continued her work, she often found herself reflecting on her journey. From the humble beginnings of supporting one student to building a community of educators dedicated to making a difference, she felt grateful for the twists and turns that had led her to this moment. One day, as she sat in her office reviewing proposals for upcoming workshops, she received an unexpected call from a local news station. "We'd like to feature you in a segment about individuals making a difference in education," the producer said. "Would you be willing to participate?" Lon was taken aback. "I'm honored. I'd be happy to share our story." The following week, the cameras rolled as Lon shared her experiences, emphasizing the importance of community and the power of education to transform lives. The segment aired, and she was overwhelmed by the response. Messages poured in from people inspired by her story, eager to support her initiatives. As Lan's work gained recognition, she began receiving invitations to speak at larger conferences and events. Each time she stood before an audience, she emphasized the importance of kindness, collaboration, and believing in the potential of every individual. With her newfound visibility, Lon decided to advocate for policies that supported education and mental health initiatives on a larger scale. She joined local advocacy groups, participating in discussions with policymakers about the need for increased funding for education and mental health resources in schools. During one meeting, she stood before a panel of officials, sharing stories of students whose lives had been changed through the programs at her center. "We need to prioritize education and mental health resources. Investing in our youth is an investment in our future," she urged, her voice passionate and resolute. Over time, her advocacy efforts began to yield results. The local government allocated additional funding for mental health initiatives in schools, and Lon felt a surge of hope as she witnessed tangible change. She knew that her efforts were making a difference, not just for her community, but for students across the region. As her advocacy work expanded, Lon also found time to connect with former students who had gone on to achieve great success. She invited them to speak at events and share their journeys, reminding current students of the possibilities that lay ahead. One day, during an alumni event, Hung introduced Lon to a former student named Thursday, who had just returned from studying abroad. "Ms. Lon, I can't thank you enough for the support you provided when I was struggling in school," Thursday said, her eyes shining with gratitude. "I wouldn't be where I am today without your belief in me." Lan's heart swelled with pride. "You've done the hard work, Thursday. I'm just glad I could support you along the way." As Lon continued to mentor and support her students, she realized that the impact of her work would extend far beyond her lifetime. She envisioned a future where kindness, education, and community support were the cornerstones of society, shaping the lives of generations to come. Years later, as Lon prepared to retire, she reflected on her incredible journey. The center had become a thriving hub of education and community engagement, and the network of educators she had helped build was stronger than ever. On her final day at the center, the staff organized a surprise celebration to honor her contributions. The room was filled with current and former students, colleagues, and community members, all gathered to express their gratitude. "Lon, your dedication has changed countless lives," Hung said, tears in his eyes. "You've created a legacy that will endure for generations." As Lon stood before the crowd, she felt overwhelmed by love and appreciation. "This isn't just my story, it's ours," she said, her voice steady but emotional. "Together, we've built something truly special. Let's continue to support one another and uplift our community." In that moment, Lon realized that her journey was not coming to an end but rather transforming into a new chapter. She had laid the foundation for a community that would continue to thrive, and she felt confident that her legacy would carry on through the students and educators she had inspired. As she embraced the crowd, she knew that kindness and compassion were powerful forces that could change the world. And with that knowledge, she stepped into the next phase of her life, excited for the adventures that lay ahead. In the months following Lan's retirement, she found herself embracing a newfound sense of freedom. Though she no longer worked daily at the center, her passion for education and community development remained strong. She began exploring opportunities to give back in different ways, eager to stay connected and continue making an impact. One of her first initiatives was to establish a scholarship fund in memory of her late mother, who had instilled in her the values of kindness and education. Lon envisioned the fund supporting students from low-income backgrounds, helping them pursue their dreams through higher education. She organized a fundraising gala, inviting community members, former students, and local businesses to contribute. The event was a resounding success, with attendees sharing heartfelt stories of how education had changed their lives. Lon stood at the podium, reflecting on her journey and the importance of supporting the next generation. This scholarship is not just about financial assistance, it's about opening doors and creating opportunities. Together, we can empower students to achieve their dreams, she said, her voice filled with emotion. As the scholarship fund gained traction, Lon also sought ways to mentor aspiring educators. She organized workshops for new teachers, focusing on classroom management, building rapport with students, and integrating mental health resources into their teaching practices. Her goal was to equip them with the tools they needed to succeed and create nurturing learning environments. During one of the workshops, Lon met a young teacher named Min, who was struggling to connect with her students. "I just feel like I'm not making an impact," Min confessed, her eyes downcast. "They seem disengaged, and I don't know how to reach them." Lon offered her encouragement. "Every teacher faces challenges. It's about finding ways to connect with your students. Let's brainstorm some strategies together." They spent time discussing creative teaching methods, incorporating student interests into lessons, and fostering a sense of community in the classroom. Over the following months, Min implemented the strategies they discussed. She reached out to her students to learn more about their interests, incorporating their passions into her lessons. Slowly, she began to see a change in her classroom dynamic. Students became more engaged, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose. "Thank you, Ms. Lon," Min said during a follow-up meeting. "Your guidance has made a real difference. I finally feel like I'm connecting with my students." Encouraged by her success, Lon continued to mentor new educators, offering her support and insights. She felt a sense of fulfillment in passing on her knowledge, knowing that the next generation of teachers would carry forward the values she had cultivated throughout her career. As the scholarship fund grew, Lon received applications from talented students eager to pursue their dreams. Each application told a unique story, and she often found herself moved by the resilience and determination of the young applicants. One particularly compelling application came from a student named Lean, who had faced numerous challenges in her life. Raised by a single mother who worked multiple jobs, Lean had excelled academically despite the odds stacked against her. "I want to become a doctor to help others, just like the doctors who helped my mother when she was sick," she wrote. Lon was inspired by Lean's dedication and resilience, and she knew she had to support her. When Lean was awarded the scholarship, Lon reached out to congratulate her personally. "I believe in you, Lean," she said warmly. "Your determination is remarkable, and I can't wait to see all the incredible things you'll achieve." As Lean embarked on her college journey, she kept in touch with Lon, sharing her experiences and challenges. Lon served as a mentor, providing guidance and encouragement as Lean navigated the rigors of medical school. Their bond grew stronger, and Lon felt proud to be a part of Lean's journey. Years passed, and the scholarship fund became a beacon of hope for many students in the community. Lon often hosted gatherings for scholarship recipients, inviting them to share their stories and connect with one another. These events created a sense of camaraderie and inspiration, as students celebrated their achievements and supported each other's dreams. One evening, at a gathering celebrating the latest cohort of scholarship recipients, Lon took a moment to reflect on how far they had come. As she looked around the room, filled with eager young faces, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. Each student represented the culmination of her years of hard work and dedication. As the event came to a close, Lon encouraged the students to pursue their dreams fearlessly. Remember that you are capable of achieving great things. The road may not always be easy, but with perseverance and determination, you can overcome any obstacle, she said, her voice resonating with conviction. Inspired by her words, the students shared their aspirations, ranging from becoming educators and engineers to artists and scientists. The energy in the room was electric, filled with hope and ambition. Amid the celebrations, Lean stood up to speak. I want to thank Ms. Lon for believing in us and for creating this opportunity. Your support has made a difference in my life and the lives of many others. I hope to pay it forward one day, she said, her voice strong and clear. Lon felt tears of joy welling up in her eyes. You're already paying it forward, Lean, just by being the incredible person you are. Keep shining bright. As time went on, Lon continued to nurture the scholarship fund and her mentorship programs. She also became more involved in advocacy work at a regional level, collaborating with other organizations to address educational disparities and promote mental health initiatives in schools. One day, she received an invitation to speak at a national education conference, where she would have the opportunity to share her experiences on a larger platform. Excitement and nerves bubbled within her as she prepared her speech. On the day of the conference, as she stood in front of a crowd of educators, policymakers, and advocates, Lon felt a familiar sense of purpose wash over her. She shared the story of her journey, from supporting Hung to establishing the scholarship fund and mentoring new educators. She emphasized the importance of community, compassion, and the belief that education could change lives. After her speech, attendees approached her with heartfelt compliments and inquiries about her programs. Lon felt grateful for the connections she was forging and the potential for collaboration. She knew that together, they could create a movement for positive change in education. As the years rolled on, Lon watched as her scholarship recipients graduated and began to make their marks in the world. Lean, now a medical student, returned to the center to share her journey with younger students, inspiring them to pursue their dreams. Others followed suit, becoming teachers, engineers, and artists, all motivated by the values of kindness and community that Lon had instilled in them. One afternoon, Lon received an unexpected visit from Lean. Ms. Lon, I have some exciting news. Lean exclaimed, her face beaming. I was selected for a prestigious internship at a local hospital, and they want me to work in pediatrics. Lan's heart soared with pride. That's amazing, Lean. You've worked so hard for this opportunity, and I have no doubt you'll excel. As they sat together, Lean shared her vision for the future. I want to create a program for young patients to help them cope with hospital stays and understand their health. I remember how hard it was for me as a child, and I want to make it easier for them. Lon felt tears welling in her eyes again. That's a beautiful idea, Lean. You have such a big heart, and I know you'll make a difference in those kids' lives. Their conversation sparked an idea in Lan's mind. What if we collaborate on this project? We could create workshops and activities that help young patients feel supported and understood. It could be an extension of the programs we've developed at the center. Lean's eyes lit up. I would love that. Let's brainstorm how to get started. Over the next few months, Lon and Lean worked tirelessly to develop the program. They reached out to hospitals, pediatricians, and mental health professionals to gather insights and resources. Their combined passion and dedication turned their vision into reality, and soon they were ready to launch the initiative. The program aimed to provide emotional support and resources for young patients, creating a safe space for them to express their feelings and cope with the challenges of being in a hospital setting. They organized workshops, art therapy sessions, and peer support groups, all designed to empower and uplift young patients. When they launched the program, the response from families and medical staff was overwhelmingly positive. children who had once felt isolated began to find solace in the community they had created, and the program quickly gained recognition within the local healthcare system. As Lon watched Lean flourish in her role, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The legacy of kindness and support had come full circle, as her former student now took on the mantle of leadership in her own right. One day, as they were preparing for a workshop, Lean turned to Lon with a thoughtful expression. "Ms. Lon, I've been thinking about how you always encouraged us to give back. I want to make sure this program continues to grow and reach more kids. What if we establish a scholarship specifically for students interested in pediatric medicine and community service?" Lan's heart swelled with pride. "That's a wonderful idea, Lean. We can start a campaign to raise funds and support aspiring medical students who share your vision. Together, we can create a cycle of giving that continues to uplift others." And so, they set to work, establishing the scholarship program and planning fundraising events. As word spread, more and more people stepped forward to support their initiative. They hosted community events, bake sales, and informational sessions, all centered around raising awareness for the scholarship. With each passing year, Lean's program flourished, and the scholarship became a symbol of hope for aspiring medical students. It was a reminder that the impact of kindness could ripple through generations, creating opportunities for those who needed it most. As Lon sat at her desk one evening, reflecting on the incredible journey she had taken, she felt a profound sense of gratitude for the connections she had made and the lives she had touched. The ripple effect of her kindness had spread far beyond what she could have imagined. Years later, Lon received an invitation to a gala honoring her contributions to education and community service. She arrived, greeted by familiar faces, former students, educators, and community leaders. As the night unfolded, they celebrated the impact of kindness, collaboration, and the transformative power of education. As she stood to accept an award, Lon looked out at the sea of smiling faces. "This honor is not just for me, it belongs to all of us. Together, we've created a community built on support and love. Let's continue to uplift one another and make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time." With those words, Lon reaffirmed her commitment to nurturing future generations and fostering a spirit of compassion in her community. The journey had been long and filled with challenges, but it had also been rich with rewards, friendships, and the joy of making a difference. As she left the gala that night, surrounded by laughter and celebration, Lon felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that her legacy of kindness would live on through the countless lives she had touched and the community she had helped build, a legacy that would continue to inspire others for years to come. In the following months, Lon remained active in her community, balancing her involvement with the scholarship fund, the pediatric program, and her role as a mentor. She found fulfillment in every aspect of her work, but there was one lingering desire: to write a book that encapsulated her experiences, the lessons she had learned, and the stories of the students she had helped along the way. One evening, while reflecting on her journey, she made the decision to start writing. She envisioned a book that not only chronicled her path but also served as a guide for educators and community leaders looking to make a difference. With that goal in mind, she set aside time each week to write, pouring her heart into each chapter. The writing process became a cathartic experience for Lon. She recalled moments of struggle and triumph, weaving in anecdotes from her time as a teacher, her relationship with Hum, and the inspiring stories of her scholarship recipients. Each chapter unfolded like a tapestry, revealing the interconnectedness of their journeys and the power of compassion. As she wrote, Lon also reached out to her former students, inviting them to share their stories. Many were eager to contribute, sending her heartfelt letters about how her support had influenced their lives. The response was overwhelming, and it deepened her conviction that their collective stories needed to be shared. After months of dedication, Lon finally completed her manuscript. She titled it, "The Ripple Effect: Transforming Lives Through Kindness." With the help of Hung in a local publishing house, she set out to publish her book, excited to share their stories with a wider audience. When the book was released, Lon organized a launch event at the community center. She invited all her former students, educators, and community members to celebrate the culmination of her efforts. the room was filled with familiar faces, all of whom had played a role in her journey. As Lon took the stage, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. Thank you all for being here today. This book is not just my story, it's our story, a reflection of the incredible impact we can have on one another's lives. She shared excerpts from the book, recounting moments that had shaped her as an educator and as a person. Laughter and tears filled the room as attendees recognized themselves in her stories, each one a testament to the strength of community and the bonds they had formed. Following her reading, Lon opened the floor for questions and discussions. People eagerly shared their thoughts, expressing how her words had inspired them. The conversations flowed, rich with reflections on the importance of kindness, mentorship, and the profound impact of education. Ms. Lon, your book has motivated me to start a reading program for at-risk youth in my neighborhood, one educator shared. I want to create a safe space where kids can explore their love for reading. Lan's heart swelled with pride. That's wonderful. I would love to help you in any way I can. Let's brainstorm some ideas together. As the evening progressed, Lon felt an overwhelming sense of joy. She had not only accomplished her goal of writing a book, but she had also fostered a renewed spirit of collaboration within the community. People were inspired to take action, to create their own ripples of kindness. In the following weeks, the book gained traction, and Lon received invitations to speak at various educational conferences and community events. Each time she took the stage, she shared her message of compassion, emphasizing that change starts with one act of kindness. One day, during a particularly impactful conference, Lon met a young woman named Mai who had faced significant challenges in her life. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and I didn't think I would ever go to college, Mai said, her voice filled with emotion. But your story inspired me to believe in myself. I'm now a freshman at university, and I want to help others who are struggling like I did. Lon felt tears in her eyes. That's incredible, Mai. Your journey is a testament to your strength and resilience. Remember, you can pay it forward just as others have done for you. Their conversation sparked a new initiative in Lan's mind. She wanted to create a mentorship program that connected college students with high school students from underprivileged backgrounds. This program would provide guidance, support, and resources to help students navigate the challenges of higher education. With the support of Hung and her network of educators, Lon launched the mentorship program, pairing college students with high schoolers who could benefit from their guidance. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and soon the program was flourishing, creating a supportive community for both mentors and ments. As Lon continued her advocacy work and mentorship efforts, she remained grounded in the values that had driven her from the beginning. She frequently reminded herself of the importance of listening, understanding, and being present for those in need. Each interaction, each connection, was an opportunity to make a difference. One afternoon, while mentoring a group of high school students, Lon was struck by the power of their stories. You all have unique journeys and challenges. What inspires you to keep pushing forward? She asked, encouraging them to share. A student named and spoke up, his voice wavering. Sometimes it feels overwhelming, but I think about the people who believe in me, like you, Ms. Lon. I want to make them proud. Lan's heart ached with pride. You are already making a difference by simply believing in yourself. Keep pushing forward, and remember that it's okay to lean on others when you need support. As the mentorship program grew, Lon realized the impact it was having not just on the students but also on the college mentors. Many of them found their own passion for teaching and community service reignited through their interactions with the younger students. One evening, at a gathering celebrating the program's success, one of the college mentors named Dewey took the stage. I want to thank Ms. Lon for this opportunity, he said, looking around the room. This program has not only allowed me to give back but has also helped me rediscover my love for education. I'm now considering a career in teaching. The crowd erupted in applause, and Lon felt a warmth spread through her chest. Dewey, your enthusiasm is contagious. I have no doubt you'll make a wonderful educator. As the years passed, Lan's initiatives continued to expand, but she remained rooted in her original mission, to create a community built on kindness, support, and education. she had established a legacy that would resonate for generations to come. One day, as she walked through the community center, she noticed a mural being painted on the wall. It depicted scenes of students learning, laughing, and supporting one another, an embodiment of the values she had dedicated her life to promoting. Intrigued, Lon approached the artist, a talented young woman named Nee. "This is beautiful. What inspired you to create this mural?" Nee smiled brightly. "I wanted to capture the spirit of our community. We've all been touched by your kindness and support, and I thought this mural would celebrate that." Lon felt tears welling up again, overwhelmed by the thoughtfulness of the gesture. "Thank you, Nee. This mural will serve as a reminder of the power of community and the impact we can have on one another." As the mural neared completion, Lon decided to host an unveiling ceremony. She invited community members, students, and mentors to gather and celebrate their shared commitment to kindness and education. The event would be a testament to the collective efforts that had shaped their community. On the day of the unveiling, Lon stood before the crowd, her heart full of gratitude. "Today, we celebrate not only this beautiful mural but also the spirit of collaboration that has defined our journey. Each of you plays a vital role in creating a culture of kindness and support." As she pulled back the curtain to reveal the mural, applause erupted. The vibrant colors and heartfelt depictions filled the room with joy, and Lon felt a deep sense of accomplishment. This mural was more than just art, it was a symbol of their collective dreams and aspirations. As the event came to a close, Lon reflected on the incredible journey that had unfolded. From her early days as a teacher to becoming a community leader, she had learned that the true power of education lies in the connections we make and the lives we touch. In the years that followed, the mural remained a centerpiece of the community center, a constant reminder of their shared mission. Lon continued to mentor, advocate, and inspire, always seeking new ways to uplift those around her. On a quiet evening, as she sat in her favorite chair reflecting on her life, Lon felt an overwhelming sense of peace. She knew that her journey would continue to evolve, but the values of kindness and community would always guide her. And as she closed her eyes, she dreamed of the future, a future filled with hope, compassion, and the enduring belief that every act of kindness, no matter how small, can create ripples of change in the world. As Lon looked back on her journey, she realized how far she had come, not just in her own life, but in the lives of countless others. The ripple effect of kindness and education had transformed her community, and she felt an immense sense of fulfillment. On a sunny afternoon, she gathered her former students, ments, and community members for a picnic at the community center, now adorned with the vibrant mural that celebrated their collective journey. Laughter filled the air as they shared stories, memories, and dreams for the future. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the gathering, Lon stood to address the group. "Today, we celebrate not just our achievements, but the spirit of connection and support that binds us together. Each of you has played a crucial role in this journey, and I am eternally grateful." The crowd erupted in applause, and she felt a wave of love and gratitude wash over her. Let's continue to uplift one another, to inspire kindness, and to create opportunities for those who come after us. Together, we can change lives. With that, they raised their glasses in a toast to the future, to education, and to the power of community. As Lon looked around at the faces of those she had helped and those who had helped her, she knew that the legacy of kindness they had built together would endure. In the years to come, Lon remained a guiding light in the community, mentoring new generations and inspiring countless others. The bonds they had forged would last a lifetime, and the story of kindness and support would echo in the hearts of all who had been touched by it. As she watched the sun dip below the horizon, Lon felt a profound sense of peace. She had planted the seeds of compassion, and she knew that they would continue to grow, blooming in ways she could only begin to imagine. And in that moment, she understood that the true measure of a life well lived is not in accolades or recognition, but in the lives we touch and the love we share.